Hello and a warm welcome to Sports Today's morning wrap. And here we have some news about the massive blunder that the ICC made when it comes to the rankings, especially on India. You would have seen for the first couple of hours, India were on top of the ICC test rankings. But suddenly, within 2 hours, it changed. What happened? There was a technical glitch in the ranking system, and that is why India were for 2 hours on top of the test standings. But after that, the ICC rectified its technical error, and now Australia are still the number one team in the test rankings at this point in time. India remains second. But this bit of news was really, if you may say, a bolt out of the blue for many journalists because India suddenly rose to number one in the world despite having a 12-point gap against Australia. Australia had not lost any series. How did that happen then? So there was confusion, there was chaos, but at this point in time, it is all clear. Australia still remain the number one team, India are second. But it does not change the fact that these two nations are going to be the prime contenders for the World Test Championship final on June 7th. And that is why this upcoming Border Gavaskar Trophy, which will begin on February 9th, is a virtual preview to the final. However, if India loses, which many people are saying, likes of Ian Healy, the likes of Adam Gilchrist are saying that Australia have the capability to win the Border Gavaskar Trophy, then it could mean trouble for India. Because if South Africa win their remaining two tests against the West Indies, and if Sri Lanka do the unthinkable and manage to whitewash New Zealand 2-0 at home, then and only then India's chances may take a slight hit. But looking at past performances, looking at all the other instances of India in India, it seems highly unlikely. It seems very difficult for Australia to repeat their 2004 miracle. But at the same time, when it comes to the ICC rankings, there is no doubt about the fact of the players and other individuals. Yes, Virat Kohli, King Kohli now is number 4 in the world when it comes to the ICC ODI rankings. Mohammad Siraj has also burst into the top 3 with a splendid display against Sri Lanka. Now, Virat Kohli, when did the king ever leave? Yes, he was where he had left his throne vacant for 2 years in 2020 and 2021 when he did not score a single century. But now, in 4 matches, he's hit 3 centuries. And Virat Kohli, everybody has said that yes, Virat Kohli could overhaul Sachin Tendulkar's tally right this season only because he's only 3 behind Sachin Tendulkar. And when we look at it, there are 6 more ODIs and it begins today, the first ODI between India and New Zealand that will begin in Hyderabad, that is today. So Kohli has got 6 more ODI centuries potentially in him. He's got the Asia Cup, he's got the West Indies series, he's also got the World Cup. Only a matter of time, one feels, when King Kohli will overhaul Sachin Tendulkar's tally of 49 ODI centuries. He's only 3 away, 46. The series that he played against Sri Lanka, it was indeed a gold dust for him because started the series with a century, got out for a low score, unfortunately, at the Eden Gardens, but ended it with 166 in Thiruvananthapuram, 8 sixes and 13 fours. 8 sixes. Whereas when we last seen Virat Kohli hit 5 or more sixes, that showed that he was in the zone, he was in the range, and it is really a tribute that Kohli is back. And he's showing that same form that made him one of the greatest in that period from 2016 to 2019. So Virat Kohli is in the top 4 in the ICC ODI rankings, while Mohammad Siraj is also burst into the top 3. Yes, Virat Kohli's next major test after the 3 ODIs is the Border Gavaskar Trophy. And yes, in the last 2 years, Virat Kohli's test record has taken a hit. Yes, he's not lived up to those standards in test matches, but in white ball cricket, he has been sublime. And yet again, the standards that Kohli has set is so high that anything less than that is deemed a failure. That is the unfortunate reality with which Virat Kohli is facing at this point in time. But there needs to be a real salute to Virat Kohli and his exploits because even now, in a World Cup year, 2 centuries at the start of the year, it has set the tone for what could be a game-changing year for India. But while one is accumulating runs and we are just hailing his brilliance. The other is slogging away in domestic cricket. And one feels, when will he get the chance? Sarfaraz Khan. Yes, for three consecutive Ranji seasons now, his average has been over 100. His first class average is a staggering 80. And in the Mumbai versus Delhi Ranji encounter that happened at the Arun Jaitley Stadium yesterday, Sarfaraz scored yet another century. The consistency and the way how he's going about it is phenomenal. And that is why the whole debate is, when will domestic performances get rewarded with the India call-up? Remember, despite his performances, Sarfaraz was not picked in the squad for the first two tests against Australia. Will he get a chance in the next two? It is very, very difficult in that sense. And that is why Venkatesh Prasad, the former India pacer, has lamented the thing that why has Sarfaraz Khan not gotten his chance. He said on his Twitter handle, not having Sarfaraz Khan in the test team despite three blockbuster domestic seasons is not only unfair on Sarfaraz Khan, it's an abuse to domestic cricket. Very, very strong words from Venkatesh Prasad, where he said it's an abuse to domestic cricket. Almost as if this platform doesn't matter. And he is fit to score those runs. As far as body weight goes, there are many with more kilos. It begs the question, can anybody of you tell us when was the last time a player got selected due to a great domestic performances? Perhaps you may say Mayank Agarwal, perhaps you may say Hanuma Vihari, but apart from that, have they had a long run in test cricket for India or any other format in India? Unfortunately, no. The problem with the Indian cricket team at this point in time is, where will Sarfaraz bat? What will be his position? Because there are far too many batters for too few positions in the Indian cricket team. And that is the unfortunate reality we are living in. Consider this, Mumbai's current coach, Amol Muzumdar, was a domestic legend, over 10,000 first-class runs at an average of well over 50. But what happened to him? He never got the call for the Indian cricket team, because in his era, there were the likes of Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, VVS Lakshman, Saurav Ganguly. How could you argue against their inclusion? So Amol Muzumdar and we may say Sarfaraz Khan all face a big problem of plenty. It is impacting them in a big way. So that is why Sarfaraz will only have to keep scoring the runs. Perhaps, hopefully, he gets a chance in the next two tests that will be played in Dharamshala and Ahmedabad. We just hope that that happens. So that is about Sarfaraz Khan and his unfortunate plight. Remember, he also, for all his exploits, you do want him to be in the Indian cricket team. But domestic performances and international cricket, has the yardstick changed for Indian cricket selection? We will never know. But it's unfair on Sarfaraz. It is really a big problem. But if the Fab Four is doing well, one of the Fab Four is even doing well in T20 cricket. Recently, Steve Smith scored a century in the Big Bash League. And the shocking thing about this is, this was the first century by a Sydney Sixers batter in this edition of the Big Bash League. It is really surprising. One of the strongest teams in the Big Bash League had to rely on Steve Smith to score their first century this season. So kudos to Steve Smith, and everybody in the Australian cricket fraternity is hailing the knock. And many people have said that, okay, many didn't want Steve Smith to play in the previous edition of the Big Bash League. And that is where pundits have had to eat humble pie. Now, at this point in time, we are looking at two major events that are happening. One is the Hockey World Cup and the other is the India Open. Unfortunately, PV Sindhu, for the second consecutive tournament, has suffered an early loss. And it is very sad, because she came out of injury, a stress fracture on her foot. And that is why now she's struggling to get back into rhythm. But one feels that India's greatest shuttler, it's only a matter of time for her to come back into rhythm. So PV Sindhu is unfortunately out, HS Pranoy is out, but Lakshya Sen is through. Saina Nehwal also has progressed, and so have the duo of Satvik Sairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty. Remember, Satvik Sairaj and Chirag Shetty have been in fantastic form, and they will continue to ensure that 2023 is a golden year for them. But as we end the morning wrap, we will focus on the Hockey World Cup, and Hardik Singh, one of India's talismanic players, is going to miss the Wales encounter, and that might be a big blow for India. But India are assured of at least the crossovers. They will now be wanting to finish on top of Group D. And remember, I will be back with the permutations and combinations as to what happens. If India finish on top, they go directly into the quarterfinals. But if they finish second or third, then they will have to play the crossovers or the pre-quarterfinals. Now, England will take on Spain, India will take on Wales. That is on the 19th. But what must India do to ensure that they finish on top? And if they finish in the crossovers at number 2 or number 3, who will they face? That is the video that I'll be coming up next. And stay tuned to Sports Today for all the information. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. And don't forget to download the SportsTak mobile app, because it is in that app where you can get all the highlights, be it the ILT20, the SA20, the Big Bash League, CPL, you name it, they have it. And also, very, very important, they also have the Hockey World Cup highlights. So do download the SportsTak mobile app and also check out the English and Hindi websites as well. Thank you.